Okay, so please give me a description of your company and the products and services that you offer.
All right, I'd love to. Okay, so I do and I teach a soft tissue therapy from Australia, and it speaks to the nervous system through gentle rolling movements on specific muscles and tendons. There are important wait times throughout the session, and that allows the body to react to the piezoelectric movements, rehydrating fascia, thixotropic loosening of muscles, and a deep sense of peace that settles over the body between the moves. At the end of the session, I coach my clients on homework goals designed for specific muscle retraining, and I follow through on the client's decision for their recovery process. Water, walk, and wait are the three big recommendations, along with Tom Bowen's 80-20 foods for chronic symptoms. Tom Bowen reportedly had an 85% success rate, as the Australian government counted it in 1974. This isn't taught in any massage therapy school that I know of, and it can be done through clothing without any oils, hot rocks, cups, needles, drums, bowls, frequencies, diagnosing equipments, tuning forks, or special fabrics. It's perfectly portable and it's contained in your own two hands. I've even given and received sessions at a distance.
Great. Okay, what aspects of Bowenwork would you like to focus on in this interview?
I want to focus on the mechanisms of action and the water, walk, and wait. These are the things I'd like to focus on in the interview.
All right, great. But before we get into those details, as a young girl growing up, what inspired you to become a Bowenwork practitioner?
Okay, so my parents gave me a little plastic doctor's toolkit for Christmas when I was about 4 years old. And I carried that stethoscope around my neck for months. And I would hit my siblings' knees in order to get the little hammer, to get a response kick from their legs, right? They was always up for the challenge, so I was hitting their knees. I always cared about people's health. I never had the money to study medical science in college. So I went into music, earning my degree in electronic music technology, composition, performance on the clarinet at the University of Redlands in California. And I worked in musical theater sound design before becoming a music teacher in the K-12 public schools. I was getting my teacher's certification while teaching full-time, and I had 3 young boys as well, and my husband's working full-time, so it was a really busy time. So while I was a teacher of music, I got carpal tunnel symptoms so bad that I considered getting surgery. It was very expensive and not very promising in terms of odds of success. So it was quite scary for a musician to let anyone cut my arms open, even a little. I was complaining to a friend about my trouble at a picnic, and when she offered to do these tiny little Bowenwork moves on my arms that she had just learned, it was miraculously effective from the moment she started doing the tiny moves on my forearms. I figured that she had learned a chiropractic or kinesiology technique or therapy, and I did not care what it cost. I told her to book me in the class right away, and my husband as well. So we both signed up and we both took those classes together. It was actually very reasonably priced as a therapy to learn, and I had never considered a career in healthcare because of the student loan debt that I knew I would get into. But this was all that good stuff without any of the added expense. It's amazing.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So what are some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome in your career that will inspire other men and women?
One drawback is the difference across state lines in the regulation of touch. So all the states are going to be different with that. And it's an ongoing issue. And I did have to change the law in the state of Utah to allow Bowenwork to be a legal exemption to the state's massage therapy law. It took a few years, but I got to meet a lot of lawyers and committee members, lawmakers, and I learned how to draft and pass laws. There is a way to do your business of doing good in the world that is legal, moral, and ethical. It is possible to cut through all kinds of red tape when you put thoughtful intention into connecting with like-minded professionals.
And when did you do that?
Well, I started the process in 2015, and it passed through the legislature in 2019.
Did you have a mentor growing up, and are you currently mentoring anyone?
Well, I never had a mentor growing up, but I lived in a big family. There were 6 kids, and the love was always there. I had teachers, I had band directors that were my coaches growing up. College brought my first individual mentors on the clarinet and in other subjects as well. I still work with a vocal coach now, and I have Bowenwork mentors today. Senior ABA instructor Nancy Pearson has helped me to create online courses for Bowenwork practitioners to coach their clients towards greater health freedom. Senior ABA instructor Sandra Gustafson has mentored me in my business growth in Bowenwork, and I mentor each of my students in learning Bowenwork and each of my clients in their own health journeys.
Great. How did you get started?
I trained with the senior instructor of ABA, Karin Tuhig. And Karin Tuhig of the American Bowen Academy was traveling through and teaching in different locations in California. So I learned it from her in Santa Maria, California. And that was in 2009 when I got certified. And I took my advanced training from Ozzie Wrench, who was the originator of this work from Tom Bowen. So I would travel to take courses from him. I became a full instructor in 2015, and I was a full-time teacher in the public school system in the same time period, so they were overlapping from 2008 to 2016. And then I decided to retire from the school system so that I could start private music instruction and my online Bowenwork courses and in-person trainings for other people to become Bowenwork practitioners. And I do still keep a busy clinic as well. I homeschool my youngest child, I play the organ every Sunday, and I keep learning all the time.
Wow, that's amazing. So, what's the mechanism of Bowenwork? How does it work?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And there are 6 different ways that people think about what Bowenwork works. Some of them are more practical and observable, and some are more, what we say, frequency based, right? So I like the music therapy kind of way of model of thinking of it. So what I would think of it is that I tune cellos for middle school, and I crank them and I push them at the same time to get the pegs to stick into the sound box. And that is a bear. It's a beast of a job. This is one reason why I retired from being a music school teacher in the public school system, because I just couldn't handle it. It was too hard on my hands. But if you think about the body as a musical instrument, and I've been trained to use these tiny little moves to kind of do the same tuning process, and the moves over time, like after 3 or 4 sessions, you can see that the body's tune box, it holds the pegs better of their corrections, and their body starts to have better posture. It starts to have better movement and flow and balance, and there's less falling. So I'll give you a short story. I worked with a client who had Parkinson's disease for 5 years, and over the time that I worked with her, for all 5 of those years, she did not fall one time. And before that, she had been known to fall all of the time because her balance wasn't quite correct and she couldn't navigate around without falling over. And it's kind of miraculous that way to have a regular tuning schedule for the body when there's some kind of chronic symptoms going on. It's been really quite helpful. Now, after learning this new way of thinking about food and life-changing foods and Tom Bowen's 80-20, the ideas of Anthony William kind of sneak in to what I'm doing. And there's a new theory that I have, so I'm just going to purport this for the first time right here. The mechanism of action, I believe, Bowenwork is doing is it's speaking to the R5 and R6 radio-like frequency hormones that the thyroid produces. And this thyroid, it not only does the T3, T4 stuff, it also has a kind of a radio transmitter device thing. And it scans through the body, and then it can reshuffle through the piezoelectricity to get your homeostasis to happen. And what Bowenwork's moves are these little tiny things. They put pressure on the muscles, and the muscles have little, they're kind of like a quartz crystal. When you push on them, they create electricity. That's what we call piezoelectricity. And when I push on them, that electricity is picked up by the radio-like frequency hormones of the thyroid, and then it can shuffle them to where they actually need to go in the body. So people are feeling the effects of the moves far distant from where I'm doing the move, because I'm just putting in a little bit of an instruction in there, and it's subtle enough that it kind of scoots underneath your body's defense system, and it goes right to the thyroid where it can shuffle them all out to where they need to go. It seems like a crazy little thing, but that's the way I think of it when I'm doing the moves.
I like it. I like it. That's a good theory. I like it.
Right.
So I know that you like to encourage your clients to take their health into their own hands.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I do, and that's not easy, right? And that is always the question at the top of my mind when I'm doing a session. So my focus has always been on working with individual clients, even when I have 5 clients at the same time on their own tables, and I do. Oftentimes I have groups of people coming in, and so I'm going from one table to the next table, but I'm still thinking about what can encourage this client best to hold on to their own health journey, right? And not put it into my hands. I know that clients are always different in how well they listen to instructions and what goals they are ready to make and keep, but that is the fun of my practice. Okay, so I encourage them to think of me as a companion on their journey rather than the fix-it person. I am not the one who fixes you. I tell your body it is safe and it is okay to fix yourself. And the body usually listens to me. We all have the same health rights. I have them posted on my clinic wall, and I read them aloud with my clients, and I instruct their nervous system to work towards their freedom of movement by releasing tension, and I teach them to get their parts to coordinate in a new and a better alignment. I tell them that I give them a discount on their next session if they make and keep their homework goal sheet. So I have that whole, and it's for free. Anybody could look it up, my video on my hydration protocol, and underneath of there you can print out your own goal sheet, and if you keep those, you're starting to coordinate with your body before I even lay hands on you and give you a Bowenwork session. So
That's so cool. I love the homework part.
yeah.
Okay, so being an accomplished professional, what quote or word of inspiration can you give to encourage others to follow their dreams?
Okay, so the word is momentum. If I had one word, it would be momentum. It's because an object in motion tends to stay in motion. In junior high science, there's this track that has more humps along the path to the same finish line, and the more humps you have in the track from the same starting point, the faster a ball with the same weight arrives at the finish line. So 2 balls at the same weight, one has only 1 hump and the track has many more humps. That track with many more humps, that ball is going to reach the end faster. And that's what we call momentum, right? So when you start on a goal, it kind of cascades and you feel that the effects are bringing you forward more. So people who are goal-oriented are going to, they're going to feel the effects of the work faster. If your body is more, let's say, disciplined to work, that's why I like to work with athletes a lot, because their body is more disciplined to work. And it can shuffle its energy resources quicker, faster to where they need to go to overcome injuries, sports injuries, things like that. And that's why I like to work with them. But I do like giving these little goals to people who have chronic illness, because they can see immediately tiny little things do work in your favor, and hope is starting to build and faith is starting to build in your body's ability to come to that freedom of movement. We all want it.
I like it. Okay. All right, so your 3 W's, water, walk, and wait.
Yeah.
Let's talk about weight.
Okay. Waiting. Waiting has to be done in wisdom. So
And we're talking about weight, W-A-I-T, not
Yes.
weight, W-E-I-G-H-T.
No, none of that.
None of that.
Well, it comes to it, right?
Yeah.
We talk about weight. We talk about that. But it's not the most important thing. Okay, so the weighting, W-A-I-T, is the big W. Now, I allow a minimum of 2 minutes of waiting time between sets of Bowenwork moves for the body to respond in session. And then I impress the power of purposeful waiting upon my clients between sessions of Bowenwork. So I allow 5 to 10 days between Bowenwork sessions with no other deep tissue work while they're working through symptoms and gaining their freedom of movement. That's their goal. A big part of waiting is a proper sleep regimen. Sleep is often called the great healer, and clients often tell me how well they have slept the night after a Bowenwork session. I have new clients who can't seem to take a nap during the day, but they will fall asleep maybe 10 minutes into a Bowenwork session on the table, and it's just snoring away. It's pretty awesome. It's quite a compliment to the work to induce that much needed rest in a client. I teach them toxicology to avoid as well. So in these wait times, there's things to avoid, right? Tom Bowen had a list on the back of his business cards of the toxicology that he knew about in the 1950s to the 1970s. He knew about it. And he would give his clients what to wait on or to avoid during their time of recovery. And now a client's ability to wait on substances or practices that overstimulate your adrenals or further inflame your nervous system is integral to the speed of the recovery. I can tell if my client has not waited with wisdom. Healing momentum happens when all the W's are done right. It's in the details. Details like liver vacation for the deepest hydration. So I have these little quotes or things that prompt my client to remember the conversations I had with them. So, yeah.
Great. Okay, so speaking of hydration, there's
Yes.
another W.
All right.
Water. Okay.
Okay, water is amazing, right? If we are waiting on troublemakers and we take time to become friends with our livers, then the inflammation is calmed down the fastest. Energy resources are reallocated to where they need to be, and my YouTube video has all the 6 hydration levels, including the details and the goal sheet that you can download and get, so you can do the homework before you come in for a session if you'd like. It's perfectly available to anybody, and whatever your modality or profession, you can look up my video and you can go over the 6 steps. In fact, I think we'll just go over the 6 steps, yes, because we have enough time. So our first step, what? It's fine. Our first step is fruit. And fruit is the biggest one to kind of incorporate into your diet. Lots of people have a fear of fruit, but I start with a lemon. So a lemon has very little sugar, people to be afraid of, right? So I have them squeeze 1 lemon into 4 cups of water and they drink that. That's your first goal. You could do it half in the morning You could do the other half and squeeze it for the afternoon, just as long as you get the 4 cups of water with lemon squeezed in it in your day. That's the first goal. And you could just check that goal. I got my lemon water in, right? And their second goal on the goal sheet is leafy greens. So we're talking celery. And I tell you exactly in the video how to get celery into your daily habits, and these build on each other. So you're going to have lemon water and celery juice in the second week, or the second goal setting. Then the third one, we've got aloe. I talk about aloe as a vegetable. Kind of interesting, right? So we have the big aloes you can get usually at Walmart or the grocery store, and you cut off the spiky parts and cut out 2 inches of that just clear gel, just the gel, and you're going to eat that in the day. So that's your third goal. And these all build on each other, remember. And then I got 4. We've got the heavy metal detox smoothie, and you can look this up at Anthony Williams' sites. If you want to just Google it up, you can do that. And I also do it in detail on my video as well. And so those are the first 4 things. And the 4, I mean, you're really talking food synergy at this point. So you've got players that are fruits and vegetables and herbs and leafy greens and all of that stuff coming together in the same combination, like the angels on the compass. You've got the angel of the north, south, east, and west. All of them bring in their intelligence and wisdom together in one spot to relieve your brain of toxic heavy metals, and your liver, and your everything. Your whole body is actually helped by this food synergy, this little recipe that has made such a difference over the last 10 years of my life and in my clients' lives. It's just been amazing. So those are the first 4. And then the 5th goal is fat-free in the morning times. So between you getting up in the morning to about noon, if you can leave out overt fats of any kind out of your diet, your liver is going to be so happy with you. I don't even know if you even know. You're like, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. And then step 6 is fat-free all day. So it's a liver vacation for the deepest hydration. If you can keep overt fats out of your diet for the whole day, then your liver can work on its other 2,000 things that it has to do. And believe me, that's a lot of jobs. And then the liver is like the ultimate multitasker on that action. So yeah, there you go. That's the water.
That's a lot to take in, but I love it. Okay, and what's the third W?
The third W. Walking. Okay, so after a session, I tell clients that they should walk about 20 minutes that day to kind of reset all the balance that they got through the tiny little instructions while they were on the table. So I've got like a flat area for people to take a little walk out where I live, and they can just walk around the park. You can walk in nature. Walking through trees is awesome because there's limonene and terpenes in the actual air from the trees. It's highly healing to your body. And the sunlight while you're walking, if you could get morning sunlight onto your skin somehow while you're walking, it creates the nitric oxide precursors under your skin, and it helps you have more energy, and it gives you the chemicals in your system that allow you to sleep well that night. So walking in the morning sun is like one of the keys. And just 20 minutes a day. It does not take an exorbitant amount of exercise to get the sleep that you want. It takes just a very gentle exposure to the sun. And you know what? On a cold day or a winter day, you could wear a coat. You could wear a jacket. You could be clothes, basically, just your eyes poking out, and you would still get the amount of sunlight that you need to get that melatonin so that you can sleep that night. It's a really amazing thing. And I also tell them to stand up evenly from when they get off the table so that their weight is shifting evenly between their feet throughout the day, and that helps to not like wear out one joint more than another, which is really important to avoid surgeries later on, because you know how it is, of overuse, it's awful. And I give you also some homework for your liver that's on exercise, and that gets you on the same page with your liver, as well as pelvic exercise or knee exercise. So there's certain exercises for different parts of you that are very gentle and should be done within your range of motion to help you.
And when you're walking, you don't have to hurry, right? Or get
Right.
your heart rate to a certain
Right,
rate.
exactly. And you know, you can even have like a rebounder, and you can just be gently bouncing on that with your feet never leaving the mat, and you can get the same amount of reshuffling of your energy resources, and your lymph starts to kind of move itself. And move
Fantastic for the lymph system.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. So what are these energy resources that you're talking about? Is there a list
Oh, yeah.
that we
Very
can
good.
work on while we're waiting for a session with you?
Okay, I want to save the 80-20 for another podcast, but I want you to, but I will go over the 6. I believe I have some time to do that. So really quickly, Tom Bowen did recommend 80% of your foods be alkaline forming foods, and then 20% of your daily calories. And mind you, this was for people who really had a hard time, or a chronic bedwetting issue, or incontinence, or all kinds of these issues. And he would say 20% of your daily calories should be maybe mildly acidic forming, or like borderline. So we're talking like non-gluten grains and things like that that are filler foods. But 80% of your daily calories while you're healing should all be the fruits, the leafy greens, and the vegetable foods. If you can get those in, it's going to sweep out all the inflammation that's building up in the tissues of the body. And so our 6 energy resources, we kind of covered them in the water walk-in weights, but I'm just going to kind of say them really quick. Number 1, and step 1 is on my hydration protocol too. It is fruits. So the more fruit that you have, the more living water hydration you're going to have in your body. Because the water that's inside of fruits is a special kind of water. It's a water that's more than physical water. So there's different levels of you, all in one beautiful package. Everybody has a beautiful package called a body, and the physical body needs hydration, physical water, but also inside of your body you have your conscious, your thought processes, and you have the things that go on underneath your thought process. We call them the subconscious, and those need water, and your conscious needs water, the ability to think straight, or else you get muddled thinking and you tend to get brain fog and things like that. So you need water so that you can think straight. And then, so you can shuffle through your dream state, like your soul is also in your body, and it needs water too. So there's spiritual water that's inside of physical water in fruit. So that's number 1. Number 2 is leafy greens. And leafy greens have motors inside of the cells that turn sunlight into the power of the cell. And those are called thylakoids. And the more thylakoids you get into your diet through those leafy greens, the more you are able to turn the power of the sunlight into the nourishment of your body through the vitamins and the minerals that you have. They activate everything. So that's the leafy greens. And then the third one is vegetables. So vegetables have all of the fiber that also cleanses through the digestive system, and they have the mineral salts that work with these leafy greens and the fruits to help build your proteins. Your amino acids are the things that you need to build your muscles. So I'm talking the muscle builders are the first 3 steps. The 4th step, which we all get, hopefully, is hydration that's not going to overstimulate your adrenals. So non-caffeinated right? Non-caffeinated, water-rich drinks are perfectly healthy for you, especially if they have herbs and things like that in them that wake them up. Those are going to be ultra better hydrating, right? And then our fifth substance and our energy resource we all need on the planet is the sun, is sunlight, about 20 minutes a day. And then the sixth one that we all need is sleep. We all need sleep. So these is where we get our energy from. All of us get our 6 energy resources from there. And then there's 12 other things that don't even have time to cover. I apologize. 20 seconds to close, but
And that's the medical medium healing path.
it is. It's the medical medium healing path. It is absolutely free if you want to go there too. So just Google it. Google medical medium healing path and you will get there.
Great. Oh, what wonderful information.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
She's amazing. All right. Thanks for watching.